What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Now kick back, relax, and come take a ride with your boy. You know I got another banger for y'all. Another chapter in the epic Caitlin Clark saga and her journey through the WNBA. Now we know that some of the biggest commentators in the game have been headlining their shows with Caitlin Clark content. One megastar in particular at ESPN, Pat McAfee, is catching all types of backlash for calling Caitlin Clark a white bee in his podcast, man. It's ruffled a lot of feathers. A lot of people are demanding an apology from her or from him, and are sounding off on his comments towards Caitlin Clark in the disrespectful manner that they were delivered in. One of the ones that are sounding off is Coach Geno Auriemma, one of the most legendary coaches in the game, men's, women's, at any level. The head man at Uconn came up, and this is a player he's very familiar with. This is a player that helped knock his team out of the Final Four, a player that he's competed against, and a player that he has very much high regard for. He came out and spoke and gave a rebuttal and let his thoughts known on, one, how much of a clown Pat McAfee is, but two, how the physicality and the target on Caitlin Clark's back has been exposed in the WNBA. Also, Caitlin Clark left off the Olympic team. We gotta talk about it. But before we get into all that, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest. And join our memberships. We got that exclusive content coming daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Now, let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Earlier in the week, McAfee caught an Indiana Fever game against the Chicago Sky, the big-time matchup where we saw Kennedy Carter come over and just bulldoze Caitlin Clark, showing that there's no love lost there and that they are getting physical with the Rook. Caitlin Clark has commented on how physical the game has been and how she feels like, she's been attacked out there. But she's handled it with grace. She's been hooping, got a couple 30-point games under her belt, and she's finding her rhythm. But it's comments like McAfee's that are just setting women's sports back, first of all.
But I do have a message, for the sports media or the ex-WNBA players. There seems to be this notion, and maybe we're wrong on it, that this isn't, this whole evolution of success and popularity in the WNBA is because of this entire rookie class. Yeah. It's a next generation. I think there's a chance that Kennedy Carter there of Chicago, whenever she's going to Caitlin, you see Angel Reese get all jacked up about it and celebrating. I think that's because she thinks Angel Reese deserves more credit than what she's getting. Caitlin's getting all this credit. You hear a lot of sports media. This is an entire class. This rookie class is the reason why this is happening. It's the next generation. Well, that's fun.
Straight clown behavior. I think in the ultimate scheme of things, he meant well, but the delivery was trash. And it's just not helping advance the women game. And we got to take the misogyny out of it, man, because that is ridiculous. On live TV, on your show, that's the language that you're using. We've seen ESPN can players and athletes, commentators, personalities for way less than that. And they got Pat McAfee on primetime with thousands and millions listening in to this platform that he's created. And this is what he's saying? And, we just got to say it's despicable, and Coach Geno Auriemma was not standing for it.
And how about this, Dan? You and I have known each other long enough. Have you ever called a player on your show a white No. What gives someone the right to do that?
I think McAfee was...
See, so that's the world.
He was trying to do it as a compliment, I guess. Like he was praising her.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's what he said.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just the fact that we live in a society where today you can't say that. Well, if you look at society as a whole, there are things that are being said that have never been allowed to be said before. There was years ago when somebody made a comment on TV or radio, they lost their job the next day. Well, we live in a society today where you can say anything, do anything, and nothing, just apologize and everything's okay. Well, right now, sports is a reflection of that.
And we do know that she's faced some hard fouls, some tough defense. At times, it's looked like the bad boy Pistons throwing the Jordan rules at her, how the WNBA is guarding her. But if you're seeing a player of her caliber being gassed up, being the talk of the town, and coming in with multi-million-dollar deals before she's played a game, she's being deemed the face of the league, possible MVP in a rookie season. When you're getting all these accolades, all this praise, and then your fans are doubting the talent in the WNBA, it's a recipe for disaster.
You and I both know the landscape that we live in today, both sports-wise and non-sports-wise, right? We are in a red-blue. And if you're red, you can't agree with blue. And if you're blue, you can't agree with red. Whereas most things are in the middle. If you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP at the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name. Okay, so the kid was set up for failure right from the beginning. So if you're a WNBA player, and believe me, I've coached the best, and I've pissed them off a lot, and they let me know about it. But they were tremendously disrespected. And none of them are going to say it. But human nature is, okay, this kid's coming into the league. And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement. Targeted by society, targeted by her looks, targeted by her reputation, targeted by the disrespect that they've shown to the WNBA. There's a huge target on this kid's back. I thought Cameron Brink said something really smart. She said, no, they're expecting this rookie class to be perfect. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years. But they've been put out to be that because the way social media is today.
Yeah, a little disappointed, of course. She's my player. That's the hardest team in the world to make, right? Like, that is a tough team. She's young. She's going to have so many opportunities in the future.
How did you coach her up through that, or did you talk to her at all through that to make it more of a motivating factor than anything?
Yeah, we talked actually on the bus. She got the call on the bus, and she texted me to let me know. And, I just tried to keep her spirits. I mean, the thing she said was, hey, Coach, they woke a monster, which I thought was awesome.
Is there any silver lining? And she'll get a little bit of rest. She'll be able to work on some things in that 3-week break.
Yeah, I think that is the silver lining. Like, she is going to get some rest. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's pretty scary, right? I mean, she's one of the most competitive people I know. But I mean, she's a worker, and that's what she's going to do. So that's just, this just gave her another opportunity to get in the gym and do more work. And she's also saying, Coach, I just want to focus on our team as well. So that is really good to hear from her team.
Chris, you mentioned that Caitlin told you they woke a monster. How much more is there to wake up, I guess, with her? And just how do you, appreciate that never satisfied mentality from her?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's pretty scary, right? I mean, she's one of the most competitive people I know. But I mean, she's a worker, and that's what she's going to do. So that's just, this just gave her another opportunity to get in the gym and do more work. And she's also saying, Coach, I just want to focus on our team as well. So that is really good to hear from her team.
In other news, it was announced that Caitlin Clark did not make the final 12-player roster for the Olympic women's basketball team to compete in Paris. Now, one thing she did say is that how she's humbled that she was included, and yeah, it's a dream of hers to play in the WNBA. But she also had a message for the rest of the league.
I'm excited for the girls that are on the team. I know it's the most competitive team in the world, and I know it could have gone either way of me being on the team, me not being on the team. So, I'm excited for them. I'm going to be rooting them on to win gold. I was a kid that grew up watching the Olympics, so it'll be fun to watch them.
What was your level of disappointment not hearing your name on the roster?
Honestly, no disappointment. I think it just gives you something to work for. That's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there, and I think it's just a little more motivation. You remember that, and hopefully in 4 years, when 4 years comes back around, I can be there.
Did you have a direct conversation with managing director over there at USAB recently?
Yeah, they called me and let me know, and before everything came out, which was really respectful of them, and I appreciated that. And they did the same for every girl that made the team or every girl that didn't make the team. There's a lot of players in the Olympic pool, so it wasn't like I was the only one they had to call. They had to make quite a few calls.
The official 12-player roster, they've got Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, who we mentioned, Alyssa Thomas, Brittany Griner, Nafisa Collier, Jewel Lloyd, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Kalia Copper, Sabrina Ionescu, and Chelsea Gray. Loaded. When you talk about guards, oh my goodness. I mean, the backcourt is insane. Jewel Lloyd, bucket. Kelsey Plum, bucket. Jackie Young, bucket. Copper, super bucket. Like, they've got the point guards and Sabrina and Chelsea Gray as well, man. Like, I love the balance of scoring, but also they have two capable playmakers in that backcourt as well, along with multiple other playmakers. But you got to have a point guard like Gray, who can be a pass-first guard and really get these players in their positions to score. But there's a lot of firepower right now. There's not a roster even coming close to touching Team USA's roster. This team is loaded. Other than Taurasi, it's like, who do you take off for Caitlin Clark, man? Looking at the front court with Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart leading the way, Alyssa Thomas, Brittany Griner, Nafisa Collier, that front court is insane. You're talking about multiple WNBA championships, multiple MVPs, multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards. Like, look, man, a lot of people were saying that she should have been on the roster over Diana Taurasi. And I think so, just from a popularity standpoint, the view she's bringing, she's averaging better numbers than Taurasi across the board. And on top of that, just the magnifying glass that she's on a world stage. She could have become a global superstar in this Olympics. But I also read that they were kind of afraid of the backlash, the media following, the fans reacting to Caitlin Clark making this roster and potentially not getting adequate playing time. But salute to her, man. She's been humble about everything. She's taken it in stride, and she still has that goal of playing in 2028. And I definitely think that she will be one of the featured players in that Olympics and a bona fide superstar at that time. We've never seen a rookie quite have the impact that Caitlin Clark is having from a cultural standpoint, from a point of bringing eyes, bringing views. Now, this freshman class is incredible, and they have the spotlight on them at all times. I believe it's all of them, though. I disagree with Mcafee. It's definitely all of them. It's Angel Reese, it's Cameron Brink, it's Rakia Jackson, it's Leah Edwards, who's been playing out of her mind the last couple of games. It's all these rookies. It's Nika Mule. It's Alyssa Peely. It's Kate Martin. The list goes on. All these players are making an impact and also getting their business done off the court with the endorsement deals. I think the impact and the attention that this rookie class brings even overshines the talent and their impact of the league overall. And yeah, they are taking some humblings. And yeah, vets are letting them know that, hey, this is still our league. But they've all been gracious. They've all shown respect to the players before them. And you just got to salute it, man, because they're keeping the main thing, and that's playing basketball. But Caitlin Clark did say they woke up a monster, y'all. Ooh, she talking greasy. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Should she have been on that final roster? Moving forward, what do y'all expect from her rookie year? She is the only player with over 700 points and 200 assists in her first 12 games. I think she's been living up to billing, safe to say. But y'all holler at me in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about the situation. That's a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. And until next time, hey, we out.